She has that way with
She is
people.
perfect.
She is.
Number 1 is Danny. Number 2 is your orange pair of scissors.
Yeah. Yeah. The scissors. They're orange, so I can find them. Well, they're meant to be, but I still can never find them.
And then they show up on your TikToks as well.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's where they are.
Yeah. Nice.
100%.
Welcome back to Fill in the Gaps. I am Egg, and with me today is a very special guest who doesn't believe in the moon, which is a wild thing, scared of needles, coffee order is an iced chai with soy.
Damn, he's made notes.
I do my research.
Yeah.
And had an office job most of her life before becoming a tattoo artist. So I guess you could say me having an office job, I'm only 160k followers from becoming a tattoo artist.
Maybe, yeah.
Today's guest, Ruby. How you going?
Hello, I'm good. I'm doing good.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, taking time out of your busy schedule
Yeah.
and time with Danny.
Yeah. That's the most important part. She's
Exactly.
actually very upset with you, so
Oh, that's okay.
yeah.
I'll come give her a kiss later.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, share the show. Shout out to Industry Tattoo Supply as well for sponsoring the podcast. Let's go. But yeah, let's have some fun.
Yeah, we yeah.
How's your day been so far?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Saturday's always busy.
Mhm.
I only work half days on Saturdays now, which is nice.
Slack.
Yeah, I know. I used to work from 8 or 9 a.m. through to 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do that anymore.
That's the office job grind right
I'm
there.
old and my back hurts.
Yeah,
No.
fair. Because you did have a birthday recently, correct?
Yes, I did.
Happy 19th birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. No, 28.
28.
Yeah, 28.
Don't look a day over 27.
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, I was thinking maybe I'd join the 27 club, but I've missed it now, so I'm just going to have to live forever. So.
I did get you a birthday present.
Oh.
It's nothing. Well, actually, I spent my whole budget on it. I saw that you're a popcorn addict.
Oh,
so
I'm absolutely a popcorn. Thank you. This is a fantastic flavour.
So it's the best flavour. I don't really even popcorn that much, but triple butter seems like the way to go, right?
That's
Is there a better flavour?
No. I mean, like Cobb's popcorn, like the pre-popped ones, they have all fancy flavours.
Okay.
But I'm just a butter girl.
So
but I always add extra salt to the top.
I see.
I'm addicted to salt.
What's the fancy flavour that's the go-to?
They have a sweet and salty one, and they just came out with one that's it's like butter, but it's also got chocolate drizzled on it. So it's pretty good.
Okay.
But I prefer just the plain, just butter.
Just the OGs.
With extra salt.
Yeah.
I just crack some extra pink Himalayan salt on the top.
So
there,
do you prefer the sweet flavours, the salt flavours, or the buttery flavours?
I'm a salty gal.
Salty gal.
Always.
You're a salty
Yeah.
gal.
I've people that like a sweet tooth. I got a salt tooth.
Okay. Salt tooth.
Yeah. I like sweet stuff, but no, I'm all about the salty.
Okay.
If I open fries, chips in any capacity, potato with a lot of salt is my favorite of anything.
Okay. Yeah. So what about wedges versus fries versus crisps?
Well, I never say crisps because I'm not a pom.
Yeah, it's chips. But if I had said wedges versus fries versus chips, you would have been thinking the three different.
Probably have to say hot chips versus
yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
I suppose calling them crisps does make sense, but I don't like it.
Yeah. Fucking poms.
I know, Jesus. So probably fries would always be the go.
I fuck with that.
Yeah,
I
love
like it.
fries but they got to be salty.
They
got to be salty and they got to be hot. Can't stand.
I've done this a few times on the podcast before, but this is also a massive office debate at my workplace. Who makes the best fries, fast food?
Oh, McDonald's. Because they're fries.
100%.
Yeah, they're fries.
Yes.
You could ask me who makes the best chips. The answer might be different.
Okay,
maybe KFC.
who makes the best chips / fries /
Still
wedges?
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Still
100%.
McDonald's. I'm going to pick McDonald's always.
Yeah, I would die on that hill
Yeah,
because
100%.
Jesters is getting real close because I only recently had Jesters and they're always fresh. But when Macca's chips are done right, can't beat them.
Yeah. My problem with Jesters now is I think they have gluten and I can't. I'm disabled. I can't have gluten. So
yeah, I never knew that, but that probably explains all my trips to the toilet after eating. So.
I think that Jesters, they have some flour because they're so crunchy and crispy. I think they must make them with some flour or something.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Jesters!
Why they gotta do that to me? It's rude.
Well, they wanted to sponsor the show, but not anymore.
Not anymore. Fuck off, Jesters.
No, not a chance. They've been hiding the gluten from me.
Exactly.
Cool. So the first thing I wanted to chat to you about was your background as a musically talented little gal.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know if you said that you described yourself this way or if someone else said it, but apparently man hands was how your hands got described.
Yeah, no, I always describe it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got huge hands. I feel like they're really big.
Okay.
Because like there was a guy I dated who was 6'4", and I think he might have just had tiny hands, but he was 6'4", and his hands were only like slightly bigger than mine.
Okay.
He did have really skinny wrists as well. So
but
that might have been him.
You are 6'5", so
yeah,
like
that's true. Yeah. To be fair, I am.
Yeah.
6'5",
6'5",
6'7" when I wear my dogs.
Exactly,
so,
6'7", packing and big hands. So
exactly, that's the thing. But yeah, man hands. I think it helps me play the piano. I've got very wide palms.
But you also seem like you've got like skinny fingers, which would be good for piano.
Because I don't like a chunky finger.
Well, I'll go fuck myself then.
Yeah,
I guess
I've
got
like
tiny hands with fat fingers. So when you said man hands, I was like, oh, we got something in common. But apparently you're just talking about big hands.
Yeah, that's right. Just big palms, big old palms. But my fingers are generally pretty skinny, I suppose.
Big old palms to get tattooed as well, because the last few episodes I've talked about your palm tattoos. So how are they going?
Good. It's healing. It's healed up.
Sick.
So it'll pretty much. It needs a touch up though, which is to be expected. I mean, Morgan did Morganite tattoo did it for me, a friend of mine.
Love Street, hey?
Yeah, Love Street, yeah. She did an amazing job. We knew it would need a touch up because it's white ink as well, but I'm going to give it a few more months until I'm ready to face down that demon. So
did a shirt in the mouth or a stress ball get a good workout during that tattoo?
Yeah, so Low Tattoos, I think she's at Villains now. She gave me she happened to be there and she was like, do you want like a squeezy toy? And she gave me this like sausage dog like squeezy toy. Because I was like, she walked in and I was like gripping the chair like this with one hand, and like this one was just like trying to keep it still and straight, and it was painful. Yeah,
it sounds like a whole situation. I kind of want to get my palms tattooed, but I'm so scared of how much it's going to hurt because I'm a little bitch boy. So
it's like being cut into with a razor blade. Like it was real. I was prepared for it to be bad, but I was not. I was ill prepared for how bad it was going to be.
You're really selling me on it. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, like my thing is with people is I always tell them, like, because I tattoo a lot of first timers because I do a lot of small tattoos and fine line tattoos, and people often like to get smaller tattoos to start. Yep. And they're always like, oh, is it gonna hurt? I'm really scared. Can I use numbing cream? And I'm always like, just overhype it in your head as being like the most pain you're ever going to experience in your life, because then when I start, you're going to be, and every time when I start, they're like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yeah. I'm like, imagine that. So just overhype it in your head.
Exactly.
As being like the most painful. And then maybe they'll start tattooing your palm and you won't scream like a little bitch.
That's a good one. Yeah. I was also thinking about making getting some stress balls made with my logo on it and taking them to studios to go give them out. So
that'd be great. I'd love that. Yeah. I'll take one. My clients probably need it.
It won't be a sausage dog, but
that's all right.
Is what it is. I was thinking maybe like a TV or something like that. Or you can get egg ones, but I feel like people that don't know who I am and go to use them would just be like, why the fuck is it an egg? So we'll see. In the design process.
You could do an eggplant one.
Ooh.
I think Noelle had one of those for her clients. Big eggplant.
As in penis.
Yeah, exactly. That's the joke.
Nice. I get it now. But yes, playing piano, singing, loves Grease.
Love Grease. What the fuck? Where do you know that? Did I tell you that? I might have.
He told me.
Excuse me.
So yeah, how did you get into like I was going to say music industry, but like like music world, I guess.
Yeah, I've just been insufferable most of my life and just sung everything all the time forever. So I'm pretty sure my parents love to tell a story from when I was young and they were picking me up from like a sleepover or something. I suppose it wasn't a sleepover because I didn't sleep there. But anyway, they're picking me up and it was late and I was asleep in the back of the car and they had like music playing and then a song from Grease came on. I was like 4 and I like half woke up and was like singing it in the back of the car while I was still asleep.
Yes.
Yeah, like going off.
Yeah.
So I've just always sung, and then Mum got me singing lessons when I was like 8 and I did that for a few years. And then I sort of took a break from it for a while, and then when I was 16 started doing lessons again with Perth talent extraordinaire Catherine John. She has her own entertainment company now, KJ Entertainment. and she's one of my best friends now. Actually, I have the privilege of being one of her few students that made it from being a student to just like being a friend.
Okay, nice.
But yeah, she taught me, and she plays piano and stuff as well. So she taught me piano as well. I started learning piano classically, and then quickly decided that I hated that. And I don't like reading sheet music.
That's the other thing I was going to bring up. You said that you hate reading sheet music. So what's that about?
It's hard. I don't know. I don't like it.
Fair.
It's very hard. It's like playing piano, like singing, because singing's so easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's like...
Look how talented over here.
Yeah.
Singing's so fucking
It's so
easy.
easy.
It's so easy being talented.
Yeah.
Like, it just gets boring sometimes.
So
So
what I mean by that is there's no like hard... Like when you play guitar, there's like hard positions you have to put your fingers in, and like with singing, like...
pause.
Yeah. With singing, it's like your voice is your instrument. So it's therefore a little bit easier to... There's still a lot of like technical sides to it, but it's more... I don't know.
Not so physically technical.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And there's less... like you should still know notes and pitch and stuff, but you don't necessarily have to, because whether you know... Like you can know what a G note sounds like, but even if you don't know that it's a G note, you'd be able to tell that you're singing off key because it won't sound right. Whereas with piano, you need to actually know chords and notes, and you have to know all the technical stuff. Whereas with singing more so, you can get away with being like amateur in everything. So I've always sung, and then, actually I used to play the drums briefly when I was young because I like to make a lot of noise. But when you're a singer, playing the drums is like the most useless unless you're fucking G-Flip or something, like, or the dude from the Eagles who like plays and sings. Like, I don't know how people can do that. I've tried to do it before. It's insane. Like, G-Flip is, I don't know how they do that. Like, it's crazy. Unless you're G-Flip or the dude from the, I feel very disrespectful. I don't know what his name is. The guy from the
A-Flip.
Eagles. Yeah.
Works.
It's useless. So I gave up playing the drums. Years and years later, Catherine started teaching me piano classically, and then I was like, my purpose for learning piano was just to accompany myself when I sung. It wasn't because I wanted to like be a pianist or anything like that. So I was like, can we skip all the fucking music reading crap and just teach me chords? And she was fine with that, so we did that.
Nice. What was your song that you were amazing at playing without having to read the sheet music?
Oh, there's only one, and it's When I Was Your Man by Bruno.
Nice.
Bruno Mars. Is it Bruno Mars? I don't know. Anyway, When I Was Your Man.
How did you slip up on that?
I don't know, because
most talented singer in the world,
literally.
drummer and pianoist, and then you're like, When I Was Your Man by fucking Taylor Swift or whoever sung it. Yeah.
I'm not big on like pop music, so that's but I know that song because Catherine played Telethon one year, and she did a cover of When I Was Your Man that is like, it's better than the original. So I learned her. Yeah, it's so much better. Okay. I learned her version of that song. Right. So that's the only song on piano that I can just sit down and I can just play it. Okay. Otherwise I have to pull up chords. I see. Essentially.
I see. There's those people that can like play an instrument without like seeing anything. They can just hear it and like play it. That's insane. How does that, like, as someone that does music, do you have any idea how that would even begin to work? Because
like there's this one kid I've known since he was like 4.
Bruno Mars, is it?
Yeah, I've known Bruno. Yeah. We go back.
We go way back.
Yeah, we go way back. That he is like a prodigy. Like he's like that. I think some people are just born with it, and others, like musicians who have been doing it for like 20, 30 years, they can just do that. Like, and I've started, like when I hear a song, I can usually tell if it's the same sort of 4 chords that are through any song, essentially. Yeah. Like if I hear a song, if I'm hearing a song and I go, oh, I reckon I could play that or I could sing that, then I sort of know it's probably like 4 chords. Yeah. The 4 chords that I'm very good at playing. But yeah, like Catherine's like that. She can hear a song and she just like, it just comes with practice, I think. Yeah. But then some people, like this kid, like I fucking hate him. He's so talented. Like, how dare you? Like, I think he plays like cello, piano, drums. Like, he's just one of those people, like he can pick up any instrument and just play it. I think he got into the WA WAPA or whatever it's called, the like WA School of fucking
performing arts.
talented people.
Yeah.
Yeah, people I hate.
And now you're on his podcast, so that's me.
Yeah.
So
that's how we met.
you're welcome. Yeah, me with my more than man hands playing any instrument. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never been at all. Talented isn't even the right word to begin to say how unable to do anything musically I am.
Right.
I don't have the voice to sing. I've tried learning guitar once and I can't hold more like one string at a time because my fingers are too fat and they hold down 3 strings.
Yeah.
Piano, okay. Drums, no, not a chance. So well done you for doing so many instruments and everything. So was the only reason that you stopped doing all the music side of things because of going into tattooing or like getting older and not having the time, or is it a loss of love for it?
No, I think it's just getting older. Like I still do it. I just don't like pursue it as a career, I suppose. So like,
do you have another career that you plan on doing? Like,
no, I'm happy with tattooing.
Oh, wait, you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
I do
okay,
tattoos,
gotcha.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
I do tattoos. It's just a hobby. Every now and then, I do a couple and just like.
I got a kid at Big
scratch some
W and
things
just thought,
yeah.
Give it a go.
Yeah. I call myself Scratcher.
Yeah.
Just in my garage at home.
Yeah.
Just carving people up.
Nice. So you still do music on the side, but just not to pursue it towards anything.
It's just like a hobby. I mean, you'll never stop me from singing in my car or in the shower
or on a
anything.
podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, because I like I said, no background in music or anything, but I studied abroad when I was in year 10, and they forced me to do a music class for like 1 semester. Fucking hated every second of it. And we were like reading sheet music or something, but like I don't know what it's called. I don't know the terminology, but the sheet music with the chords and everything, but then it's also got the words to the song.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, read this. And I just like started reading it line by line. They were like, what are you doing? You meant to go like this line and then this line. And I was like, why would I have known that? That's insane. So the fact that you say that you hate sheet music, I don't know if that's the same thing as what I went through. But if it is, then I'm 100% on board with that because what the fuck, music? Like,
well, it literally is like learning another language. Like it's very foreign. Like there was a time where I could look at sheet music, and if I stared at it long enough, I could figure out what it was.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like learning another language. But if you stop, I haven't looked at sheet music in years and years now. So if I were to look at it now, I could probably tell like, okay, that's on a count of 4 just because I like memory. But in terms of, no idea. No. And I was never good enough to be able to like sight read and play at the same time. Like I could not. But with practice, yes, your brain can sort of make that connection, but otherwise, no.
Brain wouldn't be able to do that. So again, good on you for being able to do that. Nice. And then somewhat recently, you've started getting into the gym in the past few years. Hey, so and you also did kickboxing, was it?
I did, yeah, for like only about a year. I did kickboxing. I mean, he used to do Muay Thai professionally. So
your boyfriend sitting over there.
He'll laugh at me if I talk too much about all the kickboxing I used to do.
Now tell us about how you're an expert in singing and kickboxing. Go ahead.
I just love to be violent and make lots of noises.
Yes. Nice.
That's pretty much
Love
it.
that.
Yeah.
So what got you into gym and fitness and that kind of spec?
Well, I used to be chunky when I was a kid.
Chunky monkey.
Yeah, I was a big chunky monkey. So one day I woke up and I was like, I don't really want to be chunky anymore.
Fair.
So I started going for runs, and then that was literally all I changed. I just went for a run every morning, and I dropped the weight. And then from there, like I used to play netball and stuff like that, which I really enjoyed. I miss netball. It's very aggressive.
Wing attack.
No, what the? How dare you?
Center.
No.
Fuck.
No, man.
Goal defense.
Yeah, I was goal attack and goal defense.
Okay.
I was like, I was right in there.
Mm.
Yeah, I was attack. If the other team was aggressive, then they put me on defense because I would get like very protective and angry.
Is that before or after the kickboxing?
This was before, actually.
Okay,
this
during.
Was before. Yeah, that's right. To start kickboxing people on the field. No, I used to get if the other team was like being aggressive with my team and was like picking on my team, I would get very, very angry.
Okay.
I've always been like that with like people used to try to bully my cousin when I was younger because he was like smaller than everyone else, and I'd be like, "How dare you?
Get off him!
I'm the only one allowed to bully my cousin."
Yeah, get off him, and then I'll fucking get on him and beat him up.
Exactly. I'll beat the crap out of him myself. But yeah, I used to do goal defense, goal attack. So I've always been into like fitness, I suppose. But then the gym, I like did it on and off. But the last few years, it's just become a routine. So I just go like 3-4 times a week.
Nice.
Essentially.
Is that just
sometimes twice?
Be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Is it just kind of strength building, or is there any kind of goal that you have in mind with your gym, or is it just staying active?
It's just staying active and strength building mostly. Like I'm very, I used to be very much worried about like my weight and stuff like that. But like, I don't know, as you get older, you care less, I think. Like
this is true.
Yeah, I don't care about weight anymore. It's more just like strength and how I look. Like I don't weigh myself ever. I don't give a fuck about
Feeling
the
good.
scale. As well, because like the more muscle you build, the heavier you're going to get.
Exactly.
So it's like, I know a lot of my friends are like, I want to drop 5 kilos. And I'm like, cool. But like, do you want to build muscle as well? Because that makes it harder. If you just want to drop 5 kilos, then just calorie deficit and don't work out. But if you start working out at the same time, you're going to drop less actual weight. So you're going to look better.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hate when one of my biggest pet peeves is when girls that don't go to the gym say, I don't want to go because I'm going to get too bulky. And I'm like, oh boy, if it was that easy, I'd be Arnie right now because...
Like, do you know how hard it is to get bulky? Like
you have to spend like 4 to 5 years trying to get bulky and eating to become bulky in order to start becoming bulky.
Yeah,
like
literally.
You're not going to do a dumbbell curl and all of a sudden you're just jacked.
No,
like,
exactly.
I really fucking wish that's how it worked, but it does not.
I will say though, my sister, whenever she works out, she immediately gets like the double shoulders for some reason.
Nice.
Like she hates it. So I think that's why she never goes to the gym, because like she lifts a single weight and she's like,
yeah. Some people just balloon like that, but doesn't mean you just become bulky. But fuck, I need that genetic. Damn it.
But yeah, I have like an issue with some people will sometimes send me like, not for me, but because they think it's cool, they'll send me like ab workout videos, and it gets me so mad because I'm like, these influencers that post these like ab workout videos, I'm like, you cannot get abs by doing an ab workout. That's not how it works.
It's a lack of body fat is what makes your abs show. Like, yes.
I'm like, if you're chunky, you could do like 6 hours of sit-ups a day. You're not going to have abs and have like flab everywhere else. It's just, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Like
that's like doing 10 bicep curls every day, but then just eating shit constantly. Like you're going to have a strong bicep, but you're not going to be able to see it because you've got fat over it.
Exactly. So, there's like... And I've told people that so many times, and yet I still like, they'll be like, oh, this one looks great. I'm like, cool, it's not going to do anything though.
Yeah.
Like you're better off just going for like not even a run, just go for like a walk.
Yeah. And it's always like these like influencers that are just shredded, like 1% body fat, like do this. And it's like, I'm sure that's how he became like that, by doing this ab workout. Hey, exactly. 100%. It's
like, for God's sake. Yeah, and I just find it really, for the influencers, it's so disingenuous because they know that's what gets clicks and likes and that sort of stuff. But it's like, no one's going to look like that by doing, and no one's going to look like that by doing your ab workout. Like
it is hard to draw that line because like as an influencer, I guess it is their job to get clicks, but then also to kind of promote this idea that if you do this, you will become this, and it's not true at all. No, it's very disingenuous. So.
No, it's like the gym influencers who have had BBLs and they post like their booty workouts. I'm like, come on, man, like. That's not muscle. I can see, or it's genetics. Even if they haven't had a BBL, it's like some people are just blessed with genetics. So it's like you got to be honest with people. Yeah, I
can't remember who it was, but there's like a celebrity like a celebrity podcast, like a big podcaster, and they were talking about exactly that. They were like, oh, these girls like want to look like this celebrity. Unfortunately, a lot of it is just genetic lottery. Yeah, like I could spend all the time in the world saying I want to be like LeBron. Yeah. But like I'm not 6'6", 280 and can run like a train. Like it's just not how it works, unfortunately. I can spend my whole life trying to do it, but it's not going to.
Well, they have a femur lengthening surgery now.
I've talked about this on the podcast as well. It's insane.
They like break your legs and oh my God.
Have you seen like exactly how they do it? It's
I think so. They like break the legs and they
pull the bone apart and then put like a rod between it so that the bone fuses together. Yeah. And then they keep extending it.
Yeah. Yeah, but then the thing with that, which is crazy, is the people that have had it after they're healed, they're taller, but like if you were to look at them proportionally, it's like, why are the bottom of your legs so long, dude?
Yes.
Like,
I think I talked about that to Fizz. I can't remember. It was one of the recent episodes, but we were talking about that. We were like, how like insecure about your height would you have to be to do that to then just have these arms that are like this and then just massively long legs and a torso like this as well.
They may as well have just, you know, like the African neck rings.
Yeah.
Where they may as well have just done that and like lengthen their neck and walk around like a giraffe.
Yeah.
You know?
Or just get a pair of stilts.
Yeah.
That works
wear
as well.
lifts in your shoes, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
There's a brand that makes shoes like that now.
Yeah.
They've got like massive things in the heel and they look like just normal shoes.
Oh, there you go.
But again, I'm sorry, but if you're that insecure about your height, like I'm not a tall boy by any means, but I'm okay with being the height that I am. So
I will say vindictively, I find it funny because like height is the one thing I feel like men are made to feel as how do I word this? As insecure about their height as women are made to feel insecure about like our entire bodies, our whole life in the media. So I find it funny now that there's like surgery for it because women, you know, like breast implants and like nose jobs are so normal for women now. I hope not. I hope it goes in the opposite direction, but it's like, I feel like the wrong kind of equality is happening where men are now getting like hair transplant surgeries. Instead of people just becoming comfortable in their bodies, it's like, let's make it equal by making men just as insecure and they're going to get height, like their legs broken to get taller and like have hair taken from the back of their head to the front of them. Like,
do you know how many people have talked to me about doing that, or like the man weave, how they like glue the hair? And I'm like, oh, that'd be normal. Hey, everyone knows me as Egg, and then just one day I've got dreadlocks. Yeah, no one would fucking bat an eye.
What do you mean?
Exactly. I'm like, if only everyone could just be comfortable in their bodies. Hey, that would be a world. But
I've heard the thing about the hair transplant is because they're balding, so it's like it's moving. It doesn't fix the fact you're balding. Yeah. So you get hair taken from the back of your head, moved to the front. And then if you continue balding, which most people do, you end up with this line of hair from where the transplant is and then a bald patch because the bald keeps balding. Yes. And you still lose your hair. Yes. So then you've just got like this strap of hair at the front. I'm like, because so bad.
3 main things that people have like talked to me as a bald man. Yeah. They're like, number 1, the hair transplant. And I'm like, it's not going to change the fact that, like, eventually it's all going to go and then I'm just going to have patches where I've had the transplant. Yeah. Secondly is the tattooing that you can do, how you get, like, the hair
the little dots or whatever.
And I'm like, I don't care that much. And then the weave one as well. And I'm like, who gives a fuck?
I feel like that would get so itchy as well. Like, yeah, I feel. And also the dotted hair, like, tattoo thing, I don't really understand that because you're still bald. Yeah. Like, it just gives, I suppose it gives the illusion that like you could grow hair if you wanted. It's like, I could grow hair, I just don't want to. Yeah. But I've never understood that.
Well, I went to a place to find out if I could get laser on my head to get it all removed.
Oh, yeah.
And they said that they can't because they can't do it on the head. I'm guessing it's because it's too close to the brain.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
But just fucking do it.
I'm sick of shaving, man.
Yeah, because my hair grows very quickly because I can grow hair, but it's not pretty because horrible hair genetics. So I have to shave it every like 2 to 3 days just to stop it because it grows so fast. And I'm like, people keep asking me if I would do these things to grow my hair back. I'm like, I just fucking want it gone, to be honest. Like, if I had a luscious head of hair, do you think I'd be shaving it? I just want it gone. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's I don't get people that get the transplants because it looks. Have you seen it right after it's done? Like the Turkish ones.
It freaks me out.
Like the red and like white dots and everything.
Oh, I was coming back from holiday in Malaysia, I think, and someone had gone over there. Like someone on the flight back had like gotten it done because the front of his hair was all. And I was like, good for you, man. Like, you know, I'm not going to judge anyone for getting surgery, but like, it looks freaky. It freaks me out.
Grotty.
You know that, like, what's that thing called where it's like fear of holes or whatever?
Yes.
It gives me that. I'm like, oh God, it just, because it gets all scabby and no.
It's fucking gross.
I don't like it.
There's that meme that's like every flight back from Turkey and it's just like girls with bandages all over their body and guys with bandages over their head. Yeah, pretty spot on. Because even, you know, Chris Bumstead, the bodybuilder?
Yes, yeah.
He got the hair transplant as well.
Oh, well, there you go. Isn't he like 20 looking like he's 50 though because of all the steroids he takes?
I don't know how old he is. My guess is that if he's not 30, then he's close to 30. Okay. But I think he's just over 30. But I think you're thinking of Sam Sulek.
Oh, might be.
He's like 20 or 21, but he's just like, he's out of breath when he talks because of all the gear that he's done.
Like the mass, he's like that, and he wears a hat a lot
of Yes, that's Sam Sulek. Yeah. So he's a mammoth and like props to him for everything he's done because it's fucking insane and he looks awesome. But bro's going to be dead in the next like 10 to 15 years
Yes.
because he's out of breath when he does videos like taking off his shirt and stuff. He's
and
out
it
of
looks
breath.
so uncomfortable. Like,
Yeah.
you know when you buy like a jacket and it's too tight
Yeah.
and you can't like cross your... He just is living his life like that at
Yeah.
all times.
Yeah, that's
That
what happens
freaks
if
me
you do one dumbbell curl. So
yeah, exactly.
let all your
You
female
get
friends
too
know.
bulky.
Exactly. This is what happens. He picked up a dumbbell and it was just over.
He
for
went
him.
to the gym once
Yeah.
and there he is.
Yeah.
You know.
I love that. And then the other thing I wanted to pick your brain about is obviously you've got quite the social media following on both TikTok and Instagram.
Yes.
How did that come about? Like, how did you market yourself? And like, is there any tips that you would give to anyone kind of starting out on socials, whether it's a tattoo artist or not, to kind of, because I know that you said as big of a following as you have on Instagram, you actually prefer TikTok because it's kind of like more Australia and Perth centered, whereas Instagram is just like so widespread that it leads to less interactions. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. The thing about me is I'm chronically online. I haven't touched grass in many, many years. No, like I've been a internet user since I was like I remember getting my first Facebook account as soon as I turned 11, because like 11 or 12 used to be like...
I think I was the same, yeah.
You had to be 11 or 12 to have Facebook. And as soon as I was that age, I was like, Mum, can I have Facebook? And, you know, I had fucking, you know, I was a Tumblr girly growing up. You know, you'd probably be able to tell just from looking at me.
Nice.
But yeah, like I think the key to popularity on any social media platform is using that platform.
Mm-hmm.
Like with TikTok, I use TikTok all the time. Unfortunately, I can't get off it. So like, I don't use it to like find out what the trends are. I'm usually like on TikTok for like hours and then I realize, I've seen this same song so many times. And then some tiny goblin part of my brain is like, you should use that for one of your TikToks because it's obviously popular. But it takes like hours of being on the platform for me to even be like, oh, I run my business and use TikTok. Maybe I could be doing something productive on this app instead of just scrolling.
Yeah, doing scrolling.
Yeah, because like a lot of my friends who are like tattoo artists, they'll ask me for advice and like, what hashtags do you use and so on. And I'm like, you have to use you have to be a user of the platform, and that's the problem. Like that's, you know, like I often tell like my clients, people that ask me about it, is like, if I could just delete TikTok, sometimes I wish I could because I spend so much time on it, and sometimes it just gets. I've gotten better at like curating my For You page because at certain points, like it'll just get so, everything is just like depressing and horrible, and I just don't want to see that all the time. But yeah, like if I could delete it, I wish I could sometimes, but I'm like, it's business. It's part of my job, literally, to have social media. So paying attention to trends and just being a user of social media is like so important. I will say though, there's a trend on like the current thing with reels that people are doing is like short clips that repeat and then they write these big long fucking captions. So then you're like reading the caption and the video repeats over and over and over again.
Yes.
So you get high. I hate that. And I have been guilty of doing it. I've tried it twice just to see. But I'm like, I just hate it. I'm like, I really cannot stand this. Like because as a consumer as well, if I'm like scrolling through reels, I want to like see stuff. I don't want to read. Yeah. I'm not here to read. Yeah. If I wanted to read, I'd read one of my fairy books. I'm not here to read.
Can you read me one of your fairy books?
No, I don't think you're old enough.
Can you sing it to me?
No.
Oh, fuck. So that's the whole reason I got you on the podcast was to get you to sing a fairy book to me. So
there's explicit content in my fairy books, so they're not for young ears such as yours. Yeah.
Well, maybe when I'm old enough to make a Facebook account, then we can we can circle back to it. Yeah, because people, I think especially young people, like I don't want to say new to social media, but like 16 to kind of 19-ish year olds trying to like grow on social media. They're like, what hashtag do I need to use? Like, what this is going to make me just blow up. And it's like, that can happen, but it's very, very rare. Like, I had one TikTok blow up. I don't know why. I don't know how. I think it was a sound I used and it just blew up. But like, that doesn't lead to just like constant stuff. It is just like, you have to be chronically online, unfortunately. And people view that negatively, but it also can be a positive thing, like for yourself, branding yourself, marketing yourself. But I guess that's why people have such a big problem with being online. If they're not that online and they don't have a reason to be online, they're like, just fucking delete it. And
Yeah.
I'm the same, like with Instagram doing the podcast, like building from the ground up. I'm like, I spend so much time doing this shit and like, I wish I could just delete it sometimes, but I really just can't because then I've done all of that for nothing.
Yeah.
Like I have to stay with it. So it is a grind.
Exactly.
And when did you notice kind of those trends working, and when did you start building a community around the work that you were doing?
Yeah, so I started like my art account. So my Ruby Ann Bloom account back in the day was RA Bloom because I wasn't because in the early days, a lot of my art was like the one line continuous art, like, you know, the animations that I post. So a lot of it was that, but a lot of it was even more explicit.
Okay.
And I used to go by RA Bloom just so it was like gender neutral because I knew that men would be men and would be creepy. So
wait, men are creepy online?
Yeah, they can be. It's very rare, but they can be, yeah.
Okay.
So I was RA Bloom, and I think by the time I did the animations, like the reels that I do, is what sort of blew up the first time.
Okay.
Like I had a few drawings, like singular drawings that blew up and got on Explore page and stuff like that. But most of my following started to come from the animations and stuff, which was annoying because those are the things that take the longest. Like each animation, like a 1 second animation is made up of like 10 different frames.
Yeah.
So they take fucking forever to draw. But that started to blow up, and then I started to get a lot of like commission requests and stuff like that. So I was already making money from my art, and then, which was not a lot, but like, you know, a couple hundred a week sometimes, stuff like that. And then when I interviewed in November 2022 for my apprenticeship, I think I had like 16,000 followers at that time.
Okay.
And that was I had 20 or 16,000 followers November 2022. And by the time I left that first studio, about 6 months later, I had 120,000 followers. And it was crazy. But I think, like, as you were saying, my Instagram following is more international. Like, I think only now my top city is like, I think like 2.4% or 2.5% are from Perth.
Okay.
It's like my top city. Of like 160,000, there's something like 3,000 or 4,000 followers are from Perth. The rest is like, I think my top countries is like India, Brazil, the US, and then Australia, something like that. So because of that, it hasn't really felt real a lot of the time because, like, I think if I had 170,000 followers that were in Perth, I would have spent the last few years like getting recognized constantly or like people knowing who I was. But because it was international, it felt much more like calm and chill. And because as well, it's like, it's good and bad because it's focused on my art more so, or used to be more focused on my art more so than me, which is great because there's still some like anonymity and I just get to live my life. But at the same time, if it was more focused on me, I'd get a lot of like brand deals and stuff like that, which would be great because every now and then I'm like, I really need to monetize the amount of followers I have. But like, I've never done a brand deal, I don't think. Like I've done collabs, so I have a collaboration with Artist World. They're like a clothing brand. So they've got the rights to some of my artwork that like I get a commission when they do sales and stuff like that. So that's cool. They're a really cool brand. And then I mean, like Dr. Pickles sent me some like free stuff. Like that was cool. I love Dr. Pickles. So I like had placed an order with them, and then they must have checked my social media and they emailed me and they were like, if we send you some stuff, will you do a video? And I was like, yeah, I love free stuff.
Yeah. Who doesn't love free stuff?
Yeah. I want more free stuff.
Exactly.
I'm like, how do I get like M. Davies level of like, send me free stuff?
Popcorn right there.
Yeah. Well, that's true actually. I got some popcorn.
Doesn't have my logo on it or anything like that.
True.
But yeah, and that is kind of why I enjoy doing this podcast, because it's not for everyone, and by no means should it be for everyone, because I understand that some artists want it to be, here's my artwork, that's all you need to know about me. But there are a lot of artists that are like, fuck, I feel like all anyone knows me for is my art. Like no one actually knows who I am. So it is cool to be able to have this platform for people like yourself to come on and be like, I do more than just art. Like I've done other stuff. I didn't get born and just start tattooing people. Like it's not how it went. So yeah, and I have enjoyed the content of you showing your life and using the TikTok voice filter thing and seeing the orange scissors all the time.
Yes.
It's always nice. Do you enjoy doing like the social media life kind of videos, or is it something that you kind of do because it's how you grow your business?
No, I like doing them. I think that's the key is like if you're going to do social media, you have to like social media.
Yep.
Like, you know, I think if you hate editing videos and you hate like doing funny voiceovers, or if you hate hearing this, like I didn't like hearing the sound of my own voice. That's why I use the voice filter. And also because
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's also like, that's popular on TikTok. I think I did like one voice day in the life I started using a voiceover on, and that one like got so much more views and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, cool. And I know like as someone that scrolls TikTok, I'm more engaged. Like we've got such simple minds. We're such simple people. Like
we are.
I am more engaged when there's like that silly voiceover. Like I'll watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's just someone talking. And it's also things like I follow Anna Paul. I'm not like a huge Anna Paul stan, but I follow her. I think she's like fun and funny and she's got nice videos and stuff. But people love her. Like people would die for Anna Paul. Like there was like this controversy with her recently, which is a whole thing. I don't want to get into it, but like
no, let's get into it. Dive into it.
Right into my opinions about it. But it was like it blew up like internationally. It was just crazy because people fucking love Anna Paul, which is cool because she seems like sweet and nice. She's Australian. Yeah. I love to see an Australian win. But the way she does her videos, I really paid attention to like how does she make her videos, because and I noticed the clips are all really, really fast, like the frame, because it's also like Cocomelon is like super popular with kids, right? Because their frame rate and the pace at which they change the scenes of things is like, it's like a scientific method that they're using to keep children's attention.
It's wild how that stuff works.
Yeah,
hey?
but
like,
it works. So I'm like,
does.
okay, that works. I'm sure it works on adults as well. And then I look at Anna Paul and it's like, whether she's doing it intentionally or not, her clips change at the same sort of rapidity as like Cocomelon. And it's like she's like Cocomelon but for adults, because she talks really fast as well, which keeps you engaged. Because for me, and this is the thing, is like this is just what I enjoy watching. If I'm watching a day in the life video and the person's talking really slow, I get annoyed and I skip it.
Yeah.
I'm like, get to the point. I don't want 2 minutes of you umming and ahhing. Like, you need to talk fast.
Yeah.
So like I talk fast in general as a person, but when I do my day in the life like voiceovers, I literally like, and I've noticed this about myself as well. Some people, when they do a day in the life, the first thing you'll hear is the breath before. So I go, and then I hit record and I go, welcome to another day in the life of me. And I talk like as fast as I possibly can.
Yeah. It's so weird how like you can just manipulate the human mind like that. Like there's whole marketing teams and everything that just dive into that. And I found it interesting, even with the podcast, kind of looking into not that deep of things, but like looking into what works, what keeps people engaged and all that. And like things like colors, like affecting certain parts of your brain, and like frame rate and all that. It's just wild. Like I was learning recently that, you know, that the reason fast food places all generally have red in them is because red triggers hunger in your mind. Oh,
interesting. I didn't know that.
So that's why like Hungry Jack's, KFC, Macca's, everyone has red because just red makes you hungry. And then also Hungry Jack's have like the signs on like the springy things, so you drive past them and they're like bouncing up and down,
move around.
Because no matter like what you're looking at, if you see movement, your eyes instantly get drawn to it. I'm like, it's so weird how we can just be manipulated like that. Like, the aliens clearly are just so far above us. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
they haven't figured this stuff out
we're
yet.
literally just a bunch of like toddlers watching Cocomelon to them. Like, we're so easy to like manipulate.
I don't watch Cocomelon.
No, never. My niece was like obsessed with Cocomelon when she was like 2. That's why I know a lot about Cocomelon, because I used to be forced to. This is why, definitely not because I watched. But yeah, I used to be forced to watch Cocomelon all the time. And I was like, why is this such a thing with kids? So I Googled it, and that's where I learned like the frame rate and the music and the changing, and everything's fast paced. And it's like hypnotizing almost. It's crazy.
Yeah. I've also found it very funny that Bluey has become such like a massive show. Yeah. And now there's like kids in America growing up with Australian accents. It's fucking hilarious. I love it.
Well, it's good because they're calling like you know, the trash can is a bin now, you know. It's great. I love it.
So
and
fun.
it's so, Bluey is amazing. It's so Australian.
Oh, yeah.
It's so Australian.
Yeah, I love it. It's so good.
Just perfect, yeah.
All right, we'll finish up so that you can get out of here. We'll do some rapid fire questions that are never so rapid, and then we'll do some would you rathers, and your fella might have some to yell at as he searches way. As he said, let him cook.
That's right.
First question, what is a conspiracy, other than the moon not being real, because that's not a conspiracy, that you entirely believe?
Courtney killed Cobain. It's not even a conspiracy, it's just true.
I don't know what that is.
Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain.
I know who Kurt Cobain is.
You've never heard that?
I don't know.
You don't know Courtney killed Cobain?
I don't even know who Courtney is.
Courtney Love was like his wife, partner, or whatever.
I assumed so.
I don't think they were. I don't actually know if they were married. They might have been.
So what's the conspiracy, and like what's the story that we're led to believe?
Yeah, so it's that like Kurt Cobain killed himself, right? He shot himself in the head.
I didn't even know how he died. I just knew that he's dead.
Well, I'm out of here.
Fair. I'm too young for this stuff, okay?
But I'm not. Wait,
Sorry.
how old are you?
23.
No, you're not.
Oh, sorry.
Are you actually 23? You're a liar.
You just said I'm not, so I'm wondering how old I am
23.
now. I'm 23,
Now
yes.
I feel so old. My God.
Born in 2000.
Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
I have not. Not because I haven't had the opportunities to. I'm just not into sci-fi stuff. So
Lord of the Rings is not sci-fi. It's fantasy.
I'm not into fantasy then.
My God. Anyway.
So you need to review all the episodes before, because at least once an episode people are like, have you seen this? Have you seen? And I'm like,
well, you remind me of my younger clients because they make me feel old all the time because I'll talk about Lord of the Rings and they're like, oh, I've never seen it. But for me, if you're 28 and you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, you're insane. Like, how is it even possible?
To be fair, I'm not so young that I haven't seen Lord of the Rings because, like, I don't know what it is or anything like that. I just have no interest in watching Lord of the Rings. So I still get shit on by people my age for not seeing Lord of the Rings.
All
so
right, fine.
you are not old. I am just a fetus. So
okay, but you don't know Kurt Cobain and you don't know Courtney Cobain.
I know of Kurt Cobain.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But I even own a Nirvana shirt, or it might be a Kurt Cobain shirt. I'm not sure. Yeah. But the whole story behind me getting it was the podcast I listened to, the basketball podcast. I sent in a question saying, like, is it okay to wear the shirt of like an artist that you don't listen to if the shirt just looks cool?
Yeah.
Because my partner says it is, but I think it's stupid to wear, like if I wear a Kurt Cobain shirt and they're like, she says you look good in it, just get it. Right. So I got it, and that's the reason I still have the shirt. But I don't know anything about Nirvana or Kurt Cobain, but I know that they existed.
Yes.
So Kurt Cobain killed himself.
Yes, that's the story. So he shot himself in the head with a shotgun.
Okay.
But it's a whole long thing, but essentially the amount of drugs in his system at the time. I don't necessarily believe that Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain.
Someone killed him.
Like I don't think she was the one that pulled the trigger. I think she maybe orchestrated it.
Okay.
Or someone else did, because the amount of, I think it was heroin or something, but the amount of drugs in his system was like, number one, would have made it like impossible for him to have the coordination to shoot himself in the head. And number two, the shotgun was like, the angle of the bullet and the length of the shotgun was he wouldn't have been able to like shoot himself in the head. I see. From what I know. Anyway, people can yell at me in the comments and tell me I'm wrong. But like I used to listen to a lot of true crime, and I listened to like a couple of like deep dives from both angles of like he did and he didn't. And it makes the most sense that like he didn't have the capacity to, not that I think he wouldn't have killed himself, like bro was troubled, like bro had mental issues for sure and addiction and everything, but like it's fishy to me that like he dies and she now has the rights to like Nirvana like songs and shit like that, and she inherited like,
so she that was going to be my next question. Did she inherit a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because of that. So like Courtney killed Cobain.
I see. I see. Wait, so you're a white woman that watches true crime? That's
not
it.
Anymore.
That's got to be a world first, I think. A white guy doing a podcast and a white girl that listens to true crime.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the world first. Yeah.
I will say though, I do not listen to true crime anymore. I had a very unfortunate moral awakening, and I'm suddenly very uncomfortable with people getting entertainment from the brutal murders of other people. I find it I think what happened is I saw a few TikToks from family members that had been murdered, and they'd like had stories on true crime podcasts, and I really thought about it, and I was like, yeah, a lot of the podcasts I listen to will be like talking about this brutal murder of usually a woman as well, right? Like this brutal murder of a girl, and then in the middle of it, they do like a HelloFresh ad.
Yeah.
And it's so, to me, it's very morally jarring now. I'm like, the whole like, get ready with me while I talk about the like kidnapping and R word of this little girl. It's like, where are we as a society that's like entertain? I don't know. At some point I like flipped like a coin and was like, I can't do it anymore.
Just eyeshadow. Yeah. So her body was found at the bottom of a lake.
Literally what it is.
It's like what the fuck? Why are we being so casual about this?
It's crazy. And I thought about the fact that like my sister is like my best friend in the world, and I thought about like if something had happened to her, and then some people were making a podcast about her murder and doing their makeup while they did it, or like doing HelloFresh ads in the middle of it, I would fucking my reaction would not be good.
Because that was even like the did you watch the Dharma series on?
Yeah. So I saw some of it. I didn't finish watching it.
Okay, so I thought it was really well done, like just from a kind of entertainment perspective, I guess, and how it was like produced. But then there was stuff coming out about like the family, like Dharma's family and stuff, saying like they didn't like how it like kind of fantasized him kind of thing. And I'm like, I did not get that at all. I don't think anyone was sitting there going, oh, what he did was so cool.
Yeah.
Like it just made everything seem super real.
Yeah,
like what he did. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, but I think like the family of the victims came out, and they didn't want it to be because the thing is that like Dharma gets talked about. He's like the Ted Bundys, like these specific serial killers that get talked about like endless, because we don't really have serial killers anymore because it's hard now. Yeah, it's hard to be a serial killer because we've got like DNA. It's such a bummer, man. Like it's so hard. You know, we don't have the Claremont killers around anymore. Cause
that was what I was going to do before podcasting. But
fuck. It's ruined now. It's too hard. They've got DNA evidence and all sorts.
Shit.
Yeah. But it's like
science.
Yeah. But the families of the victims were like, can you stop talking about Dharma? Yeah. And because as well, I understand, because the show is about Dharma. It's not about his victims. Yeah. It doesn't follow the life of
that.
Victims.
I understood. Yeah. Like the whole idea of the show being about Dharma and the victims' families having a problem with it, I totally get that. Yeah. But for his family, I think it was his family or people connected to Dharma coming out and saying, didn't like the way that you made him look like this hero or something.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's like, he didn't. Like,
no. But at the same time, I find that like media literacy these days is just so in the toilet that like people 100%. Would watch something like Dharma and be like, that guy. It's like people that watch Fight Club and think like, what's his face? Tyler Durden is like the good guy.
I haven't seen Fight Club.
Okay, well, don't talk about Fight Club.
Let's talk about Fight Club.
Have you seen The Wolf of Wall Street?
I either haven't or I've seen a part of it so long ago that I basically may as well not seen it.
Right. So The Wolf of Wall Street is about Jordan Belfort, who was like this like scammer essentially. Like he like fraudulent, took millions and millions and millions from people, ruined people's lives. But like people, mostly white men, will watch that movie, and like idolize him and be like, this is a cool guy. I'm like, he's a piece of shit. Yeah. But that's what I mean, like media literacy, because the movie paints him in this like, oh my God, he's so cool. But if you like have a singular brain cell, you watch that movie and are like, this guy is a fucking maniac. Yeah. Like it's like watching American Psycho and thinking that dude is cool. It's like, no, he's a crazy murderer.
Yeah. I don't see it, but I mean, each to their own, I guess. Not sure. Second question, what is your favourite nostalgic song? I'm guessing it's going to be a Good Charlotte song, because you did say that Good Charlotte were your first love.
They were my first, but I'm going even more nostalgic than that.
Mozart.
Yeah, that's right. No, probably The Boys Light Up by Australian Crawl, because my dad raised me on Aussie Crawl. Nice. Yeah, I was always the youngest person at a James Rain concert, just knowing all the words.
Shout out to Mr. Ruby.
Yeah.
Legend. That's nice. Did you consider a Good Charlotte song at all?
It would probably be Little Things from their first album, or
I might know it by song, but I don't know it by title.
Yeah, it's like their first song, their first single. But yeah, I loved When I Was 8. Benji Madden's the love of my life. Was, and then they sold out and I decided I hated them. But
what's happened to them? Because
I don't
they
know.
didn't really... Did they split up or did they just kind of fizzle out?
I think they just fizzled and then they were like on The Voice or something. Like the Madden twins were on The Voice and like Joel married Nicole Richie and Benji married Cameron Diaz, which is just like the famous like tattooed punk dudes. They never marry an old girl ever. They're always with like the Kourtney Kardashians of the world. Like I love Travis and Kourtney, super cute, but like always the most tattooed dudes are never like they're with women that don't have a single tattoo, which is fine. Do what you want to do, but I find it interesting. I'm like, because Benji Madden and Cameron Diaz is like the most interesting pairing of people.
Because also I talked about this to Darcy a few episodes ago, and we are talking about Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox, and the fact he made a song that was about being in love with an emo girl, and it's like, you with Megan Fox? What the fuck? Exactly. I'm more emo than Megan Fox is, and I'm not emo. Like, it's weird. But yeah, you're right. Now that you mention it, they never fall in love with an emo girl.
No, no, it's very interesting.
That's odd. There you go. Last rapid fire question. What is your pet peeve?
When people say anything instead of anything, or something instead of something.
You just threw me back to like
hate it.
Primary school and high school, because I haven't heard anyone say that for a long time.
My dad says it all the time. Accident, I don't know, every time. I'm like, anything. I can do anything I want. No, you can't actually.
Is that an Aussie thing, or is it just a...
It might be.
I was going to say stupid person thing, but you said your dad says it, so...
No, it is a stupid thing that he does. I hate it. My uncle, I think it's like that side of the family thing. They seem to say it. It might be a very like Aussie thing. I don't know, but... Yeah, my mum's from New Zealand. She never says anything. But yeah, it bothers me. I hate that.
Anything.
I hate that. Yeah. And then, I mean, professionally, my pet peeve is when people ask me, DM me and ask me questions that are already answered in my frequently asked questions or my, like, how to book or...
What
like,
colour are your scissors? Like,
yeah. Watch my videos. No. Yeah, like when people... Because in my bio, it says books open on the 1st of whatever month, right? People will DM me and be like, when do your books open? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I love you because you want to get tattooed by me and you're a sweetheart and that's fantastic. But I answer this question like 20 times a day. It's hard.
From being in an office job, working with so many different industries and then also hearing tattoo artists, I feel like people just don't read anything.
No,
ever.
They don't. They don't want to read. They want you to tell them. That's what I've really learned. Because I worked a reception. I was answering the phone all the time. And people would ask questions that were like on the website constantly, or they'd be like, can I have a quote? And I'd be like, yeah, what's the measurements? And they don't, because I worked in like emergency glass replacement. And so they'd be like, can I have a quote? It was broken bedroom window. I'm like, cool, what's the measurements? And they're like, oh, it's nothing, I don't know, it's just a standard size window.
Just
it's
normal.
like when people are like, hey, how much for a sleeve? I'm like, oh Jesus.
Like, luckily, all these are just like time frames of how long the tattoos will take and their prices. But I do have one for just sleeves.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like for you, my friend, $10,000.
Yeah.
Because you asked me that question.
Yeah. Because, I mean, even in my day job, one thing, people never spell my name right, my actual name, and it's a very easy name. And in the text messages I send, I sign it off with my name, and they still spell it wrong.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is a lot of my job is sending resources to apprentices and stuff in different things to help them set up like financial incentives that they're eligible for. I send it to them with step-by-step how to set it up, and then they call me back 2 days later and they're like, hey, can you help me do this? I'm like, read the thing and it will tell you exactly what you need to know and how to do it and who to call if you don't know how to set it up. Because do you know who knows how to set it up? Not this fella. I've never had to apply for it.
Yeah.
It says it right there, you fucking Fruit Loop. So people just don't read. No,
and I think it's like a symptom of like the TikTok generation and like our
kids these days.
These bloody kids. Oh, they just don't understand. Back in my day,
they're always on their TokTik and Bookface.
Back in my
and
day,
everything.
we didn't even have a television.
Back in my day, I used to have to walk through flaming hot coals for 7 kilometres in the snow just to get to school by lunchtime.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no. But yeah, I think it's just like people don't want to read. They want you to tell them, and like that's fine. I can, but I internally always have like a rage reaction, and then I go, it's fine, and I just nicely
Yeah. Do you ever do the old, like, they send the message and you just scream at your phone and then type nicely back, like, passive-aggressively, and then delete.
Sometimes, sometimes like, every now and then I've gotten a message that's been, like, so infuriating that I've left it for, like, a day. Or, like, I've gotten, like, a stupid comment on TikTok or something and I've left it for a day and just, like, I'm like, I'll come back to this when I feel kinder. Because, like, most of the time it's never malicious, and that's what I always remind myself is like they're not maliciously being annoying. They just don't know any better, or they just
unaware,
didn't, like,
blissfully
think.
unaware.
Yeah. But my thing is, like, even before I was a tattoo artist, if I was gonna book in with a tattoo artist, I would read everything they had to say because I don't want to annoy any. I'm like terrified of annoying anyone always. I'm like. But like people will message me sometimes and they'll be like, "Hey, sorry if I'm being annoying," and then ask me a question that's answered in like 5 different places. So I'm like, instead of apologizing for it, you could just have like checked.
Yeah,
you know, that would have. But again, it's a privilege and an honor that they want to be tattooed by me. So that always is like, whenever I get mad, I then feel bad and like guilty for being annoyed at this beautiful person that just wants me to give them a tattoo. So I'm like, thank you so much for appreciating my art. I'm just a horrible person on the inside and I have to like control myself.
We're all horrible people on the inside. It's fine. It's just how much you can control it, because some people can't control it at all.
Exactly.
So
I'm pretty good at controlling.
How often do you have people hit you up to do tattoos that are just not at all the style that you do, like full realism pieces and everything?
Pretty often. Like they don't usually go through the whole trouble of like doing an inquiry form, but I had a lovely woman hit me up, but she wanted like a full color realism sunflower on her hand. Number one, like the back of her hand. Like number one, she didn't have a sleeve. She had like no other tattoos. So I was like, number one, I'm not doing it. Number two, I don't do color. Number three, I don't do like realism. I do like semi-realism, but not like, And I don't do color. I do like solid color, like solid red or solid blue, but I don't shade with color.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, it scares me. Don't want to.
Fair.
And I don't have color tattoos myself, and I don't really want to do them. So
yeah.
But yeah, I get that a lot, and then I feel like a bitch sometimes because I'll get like inquiry for like I'm at a point already, which is really nice, where I get to pick and choose what I want to do. Like I go through all my inquiry forms, but it also makes me feel bad sometimes because I'm like, this tattoo to this person is really meaningful and they want it, but I read it and I like scrunch my nose at it because it's just not my style, or I just, or it's like an infinity symbol and I just don't want to do an infinity symbol.
That's fair. Why don't you want to do an infinity symbol? They're like the best tattoos, aren't they?
I'm not cool enough to do it.
Oh, fair. I mean, it's not like you're the only tattoo artist out there. Like if you say no, they can go to another artist. It's okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the time I will be like, here's like a couple of people I recommend who are like amazing and they can do it for you. But then they'll come back and they'll be like, oh, that's okay, I'll just wait till next month. And I'm like, until your book's open again. And I'm like, oh, but I'm just not gonna.
You're like, I'm just gonna send you to the same people.
Yeah, but I will say, like, there has been some people that it's been like that, but after like 3 months of them trying, I just feel so bad. Yeah. I'm like, I'll do it for you.
Like, okay, I'll do your infinity symbol, $10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to do it sometimes, or just recommend them to Big W. Yeah. So
I have been asked a few times if I'll do penis tattoos.
Tattoos of penises, or
no, on.
Okay.
Yeah. I think any female tattoo artist has been asked that multiple times in their career.
What's the minimum someone would have to pay you in order to do it? Because there has to be a number.
Probably, depending on the size of the tattoo, probably like 10 grand.
I thought you were going to say.
Of the penis. Yeah, you got to have a big one, or I'm not going near it. Yeah. No, probably at least. The thing is like it would need to be erect while you tattoo. So.
Is that from experience?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, I would do one on him. I'll write my name or something.
Yeah, property of.
Yeah. Yeah, but probably like depending on the size of the tattoo and like the time it would take, it would be a minimum of like 10 grand. But
10 grand?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were going to say a lot more than that.
No, I'd probably do it, but again, that would be like something small. It depends. If it was going to take me hours, then probably more. But the problem is, dick sleeve.
Dick sleeve.
But the problem is like. Anyone, I think, that wants like a penis tattoo, like 99% of them are like fetishists, or it's like a weird, creepy sexual thing. It's not just like they want to finish their bodysuit and they feel like they're like dick and balls need to be tattooed as well. It's like a fetish thing. So I don't want to be part of anyone's fetish. So yeah, it might be. It depends. It really depends. I'd rather just not, because I don't want to like, you got to like stretch the skin, and I just, no thank you. No thank you. I'm sure they'd have to take Viagra. I've thought about it because I've gotten asked enough that I've like, what's the logistics of like a penis tattoo? And like surely they'd have to take Viagra or something to like, because it would have to be, because otherwise
I've tried to think about the logistics of like a Prince Albert piercing before as well. And I'm like, I don't even begin to understand how that would work or why you would want it or anything. I
used to follow a guy on Tumblr that had a Prince Albert, and he said that sometimes when he peed, it would come out of like 2 holes, and sometimes when he would finish, it would also come out of 2 places.
Unintended.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah. It would.
One of my mates that I work with, he doesn't have a Prince Albert or a penis tattoo, but
so as far as you know,
I've tasted it. It tastes like it. I went on his Twitch stream a couple of days ago, and he got his friend that was also on the stream. He sent me a video through him, and it was this comedian talking to these couple in the crowd, this like emo couple, and the guy said that he had a dick tattoo as well. Because it started with the girl saying she had "Eat, Pray, Love."
Oh God,
tattooed above, and then he was like, "Oh, do you have your dick tattooed?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Wait, do you actually? What do you have?" And he's like, "I have a mosquito on my dick because it's a mosquito dick." I was like, "That's pretty cool. I like that."
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so I don't mind that kind of stuff, but
yeah, there was a guy. Don't ask me how I know this, but
how do you know this?
He had a $ tattooed on his nutsack because it was his money bags. It was,
I feel like nuts would hurt so much more than...
I wouldn't know. Yeah.
Do you think so?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, have to. Like dick, if you paid me enough, maybe. Yeah. I don't know if there would be a number for there would be, but it'd be a lot. Yeah. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, that'd be pretty... Yeah, I wouldn't know, but I can imagine like a vagina tattoo would be very...
Yeah.
I did see a video once of a girl getting like a blackout tattoo on her like entire... Yeah.
Same with booty holes. It's
I saw someone get like a spiderweb tattoo, like the middle part big.
The position you have to go in to get it done.
God.
The poor artist, like,
Yuck. Yeah.
Fuck me, don't have any Jester's chips before you do it. We'll finish off with a would you rather, and then we can get out of here. Did you find a would you rather? Yell it out.
Would you rather watch your parents have sex once a day for the rest of your life, or join in once to make it stop?
Oh.
I've heard that one before.
Ew.
So it's
what level of joining in?
Joining in from start to completion.
Ew.
So it's either watch your parent every day for the rest of your life, or join in once to make it stop.
Can I just kill myself?
No. My thing with saying neither is that if you say neither, it's both.
Ew.
So then it's joining in every day for the rest of your life. If you say neither.
Ew. Oh my God. What the fuck's wrong with you? That's fucked up. Ooh. I would want it to stop, but like I don't want to join in. Yeah. So I don't know. I might just like I'd maybe watch it every day for the rest of it, because I feel like you'd like get dead to it eventually. But if you joined in,
that's what I was going to say.
That stays with you.
Also, are we going
forever and ever and ever? If
your parents are not together, is it still your parents, or is it your parent and their partner?
It'd have to be.
The partner.
So does that mean that you have to watch both?
Yeah.
So I have to join in with both.
Just an orgy every. My God, yeah, probably watch it every day for the rest of my life.
I think I'd say the same.
Yeah, because you would just get like so desensitized to it. I think that it would be like, what's going on? It's just my parents fucking.
Yeah,
whatever.
Oh shit! Sorry, I'm late to my parents fucking.
Yeah, I gotta go watch that. I'll be back. I gotta watch this.
Oh, they'll just live stream it. It's all good. Do you have a would you rather or?
What was that really gross one you asked me the other day? Oh my God, no, it's really gross. It's would you rather take a shot of cum or a shot of period blood?
No, just drink a litres worth.
No, I'm saying a shot because the liter is too much. It's disgusting.
So,
a shot of cum or a shot.
Can I just mix them both together and down the
hatch? Yeah, you go for it. Yeah, it was a liter because as a girl, it's like a shot of cum is. I mean,
I don't know the logistics behind like if you could get sick from the period one or not. Could
Not
you?
really, as long as it's fresh.
Nice.
As long as it hasn't been if it's been like left out, you could get like botulism.
Do
like
I also know who both have come from, or are they just random? And I just know that I'm going to be okay if I take them. It's partner, so it's my partner's cum. Okay.
Your partner's period blood or your own cum.
Oh, if it's mine, then I'd
What if it's a liter of each?
A liter.
A liter.
I think I'd go blood then.
Yeah. I was said like
Purely
let's say
because
if
of the
it's a liter,
consistency.
yes, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Cum is too viscous.
Yeah.
It's too like thick. It'd be hard to get down. Period blood can have chunks though.
Can I water either of them down?
No.
No, that's just how it is.
Fuck.
You gotta scull it.
Yeah.
You could you could do a shoey. Like
Do a shoey.
It's just a shoey of period blood.
Get your dick tattooed and then come into a shoe and then.
Yeah, that's right. That's the
Nice.
way. That's the
Yeah.
way.
No, I think I'd go a shot, cum, a liter blood. Yeah,
It's a good choice.
yeah.
Good choice.
But overall, both.
Yeah.
My one is not so gross, but it's just very inconvenient. Would you rather never be able to season any of your food again, or you can never use any kind of drinking appliance to drink anything again? So you can't use a bottle, a mug, a glass, anything. You have to drink out of like your hands or a bowl or something like that. You can't drink out of anything used to be drinked out of. Drunk.
Oh, well,
Drunken? Drunk.
well, probably the second one because I just carry like a deep plate around with me all the time. And
But it can't be so deep that it would be convenient to drink out of it. I'm saying like if it's a bowl, it has to be like a shallow bowl or something. So if you could drink out of it and make it work often, then you can't use it.
can I use a straw?
No. Straw is like
But
the
I
drinking
like-
device.
Okay, but like, so I can't season any of my food. Can someone else? Season
No.
my food?
Any food that
I
you
can
eat.
never have season. It just
So
magically has no seasoning.
regardless of how much seasoning it has, if you take a bite, all the seasoning is gone.
It would be the second one then because I couldn't do.
So you got to like
unseasoned
drink
food.
off a plate.
Yep, I'd learn to like lap it up like a dog.
Mm.
Have you ever seen a dog drink? Their tongue
Weird.
goes like backwards.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
How do
I'd
they
learn
drink?
how to do that with my tongue. Just flip it inside out.
Mm.
There we go.
Nice. How many holes does a straw have?
2. I want to say 2.
It's one,
like,
right?
It's one.
It's one.
Logically, it has 1, but my heart and soul tells me it has 2.
How many holes is there?
That's 1.
Exactly. So if you just elongate that,
Then
that's a
it's 2.
straw. So does that have 2 holes?
Well,
Exactly.
but if you have like
At
a really
what point?
long hallway with 2 open ended,
One hole.
how many doors does it have?
Doors is different because doors
No,
are
but
2
it's
physical
not
things.
an actual door, but it's just like a hole.
Doorways.
Yeah, like entrances.
It's still one.
Well, yeah, but like how many entrances does a hole?
Well,
does a
entrance
straw
is
have?
different because
But I think that's where I'm thinking. Because
Okay.
like how many holes does it have? Well, it has 2 because it has 2 entrances. But yes, technically it has 1. But my heart tells me it has 2.
Don't listen to your heart.
Yeah, no, my heart is historically very stupid. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Don't do that dick tattoo.
yeah. Unless someone pays me $10,000+.
Exactly.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When your book's open next.
Yeah, just like a flood of dick requests.
Oh
I
god.
heard on the podcast that you'll tattoo my penis. I've got 10 grand. I do FIFO.
I'm so sorry in future for your clients that ask that. Send them to me.
Yeah,
Find
yeah.
them on me. It's all good. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Cheers.
It's been awesome to have you. Where can people find you? Either in person, on socials, wherever you want them to find you.
In person, I'll give you my full address right now.
Okay, do it.
No, so it's at Ruby Ann Bloom, ANN with no E. Ruby Ann
Gotcha.
Bloom on TikTok and Instagram.
And in order to come get tattooed, they have to book you in, and then they'll get the address.
Yes.
Okay, so
Essentially, that's right.
don't go searching.
No, you won't find me. You won't find me. I'm out in a private space. So I like my privacy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll tag you in the description down below. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, share the show. Check out the website as well, fytgpod.com. We out here.
Let's go.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here.
Cheers.
It's been incredibly authentic. It's been real. And we'll see you soon.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Later.